حي على الفلاح.
We're ending with the uncle of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Al-Abbas. Interestingly enough, the name Abbas, it refers to someone who frowns. Abbas is, an interesting figure in that even though he was close to the Prophet alaihi wasallam and, had great affinity for the Prophet alaihi wasallam, he converted 20 years almost after his wife, who was Lubaba bint al-Haritha. I think it reminds us that hidayah or guidance is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's not simply that a person is close to the Prophet ﷺ or, Abu Talib was very close to the Prophet ﷺ. Abbas was certainly close to the Prophet ﷺ, but his wife accepted Islam long before he did. And just about Lubaba bint Haritha, she actually heard Abu Jahl insulting the Prophet ﷺ and she attacked him. That's one of those stories. When I was studying Sirah, I never forgot that she attacked him. You know what I mean? But Abbas was a wealthy spice merchant, and on the side he did some financing. He was a financier and he was a spice merchant. And when he converted to Islam, there were lots of people that owed him money. He had lots of people that he had loaned money to. It might be correct to call it loan sharking. Giving some, loans that might have been considered usurious or predatory. And the Prophet ﷺ told him of the prohibition of riba. And he initially said, okay, well, let me, remit the interest, but I still need the principal. Okay, I'm Muslim now, and I can't collect the interest, but I still do need the principal. And the Prophet ﷺ gently and beautifully said, that's fine. If you want to remit the interest and accept the principal, you're within your right to do that. And then he on his own decided, no, I'm going to remit the interest and remit the principal. And I always think about that when I think about Abbas. I remit the interest and I remit the principal. And I think it's important to remember that there is always a ways that we can go up in terms of ihsan. Some people talk about the 5 pillars of Islam or just the avoidance of the major muharramat, or just like these exhaust the moral possibilities of Muslims. No. After you do what is required of you, in Abbas's radiallahu anh, in his case, remitting the interest, okay, you don't have to pay me interest. Then if you want to get close to Allah, then you do things that aren't exactly required of you, but that you do just to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Abbas has the interesting historical fortune of being greatly overshadowed by his son, Abdullah ibn Abbas, radiallahu anhuma. He had 2 sons, Abdullah and Fadl. In fact, he had many sons. Abbas had 15 children, which shouldn't be surprising. Plentiful rizq, lots of kids. The most prominently known of them are Abdullah and Fadl ibn Abbas. So Abdullah ibn Abbas, Tarjuman al-Quran, Hibr al-Ummah, right? The principal interpreter of the Quran, the rabbi of this ummah, right? He's the son of Abbas. And then Fadl ibn Abbas, who was a younger brother to Abdullah, but very interesting, just brief, story about Fadl. He was the young man who was seated on the camel with the Prophet ﷺ when he was showing people how to make Hajj. And it's reported that a beautiful young woman came to ask a question, and Fadl just couldn't keep his eyes off of her. He looked at her. And the Prophet ﷺ took his chin and just turned it from her. And Fadl looked at her again, and the Prophet ﷺ took his chin and just turned it from her. Afterwards, some of the people commenting on the manasik of Hajj, they said, Ya Rasulullah, we saw that the young man that was sitting with you, you were turning his chin like this. Is that a part of the Hajj? And the Prophet ﷺ said, no. There were just 2 young people, and I didn't want shaitan to come between them. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The family of the Prophet ﷺ, these are illustrious personalities. We all should take personal initiative to learn about them, to talk about them, to teach our children about them. We should at the very least be as acquainted with the Prophet ﷺ as we are with our favorite athletes, as we are with our favorite artists, that we should know, some of the intimate, personal relatives of the Prophet ﷺ. It has been an honor for me to record these, albeit short, but I hope, useful videos and messages. And if you found any benefit, or if you appreciate it at all, what we've attempted to do in this series, be sure to inform the brothers who worked unseen and indefatigably behind the scenes to put this together and to give us this opportunity. I'm really happy that I was able to participate. If I've said anything wrong, it was from myself and from my, carelessness, my taqseer. And if there's any benefit or anything correct that has been offered, or anything helps anyone or touches anyone, it was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He's honored us by allowing us to do this work. And remember us in your dua, inshallah.